How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good time that made us laugh, outweigh the bad. And I'll take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Brian Ferentz, do you expect, how about this? Danny, do you expect Iowa to have a dynamic downfield passing attack? Is Graham Harrell going to get hired away from Purdue? Like, what does Iowa do to replace Brian Ferentz?
So I think what's interesting, Chris Hassel, our resident Iowa expert at CBS Sports HQ, I was talking to him. We had him on the radio show. He is a diehard, right? Doesn't it feel like it's a better time to possibly just make a clean break from everything? Like go in a totally new direction? Because what I think he was frustrated at is that if Kirk Ferentz is there, you're not going to go out and hire Graham Harrell. You're not going to go hire a Phil Longo like Wisconsin did. You're not going to go get a Garrett Riley. You're going to go get somebody that you like, that you're familiar with, that's going to implement what you want to do, which is run the ball and play good defense and don't turn it over. So it almost does feel like it's an opportunity. Now, it has to be Kirk Ferentz's call. Like, I think it's going to be his. But is this – he is not happy. He's clearly – this is a move that he didn't want to make, that he was forced, to make. Is that enough for him to say, you know what, I've had it. I'm good. It's a clean break. Plus, you get the new Big Ten next year. Like, it feels like it just is a good time for everybody. But in saying that, he's also making $7 million a year that he would have to walk away from.
But the thing is, let's say Kirk Ferentz decides to retire at the end of the year. Oh, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Do you know who they replace him with, right?
Mark Stoops.
Exactly. And it'd be a great hire, but it's not going to be a drastic change from what you're already doing. You're just going to have somebody who has a more modern kind of approach to what you're doing and is a little bit more ardent of a recruiter. So,
does Stoops have a son? Look at this.
I mean, there are a lot of Stoopses out there coaching. Yeah. Like Mike might show up to coach the defense. It's not.
Is that the rumor? Is that?
Oh,
he does have two sons.
Mm-hmm. I just think that that's the only job Mark Stoops would leave Kentucky for right now, unless he gets fired.
I think he'd leave for Michigan State if Kentucky doesn't have realistic expectations. Michigan State's got a lot of money too.
If you wanted to go in a totally different direction, if you're Iowa, and like Kirk Ferentz retires, I think Dan Mullen would be pretty good. And it's a different direction. It's an offensive mind. He's had success. The recruiting thing is interesting because that's what, but I mean, is Iowa, what is their expectation to recruit? Like, it's not what the expectation was.
Yeah, they're development. Yeah. I mean, they do land a decent number of 4 stars from like the Chicagoland area, but they are still primarily we'll recruit 3 stars and 2 stars and 1 stars, and we will develop them into, players.
Stoops would be good for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But he would also, I think he would step up the recruiting game more than maybe what Iowa already does.
Iowa's kind of a program where, since you expanded the Big Ten, their hopes of winning the Big Ten have gone from slim to basically none going forward. Right. With adding USC, adding Oregon, adding Washington, all better programs. UCLA is kind of close to Iowa as far as ability to get talent. So I don't know. I think we're going to skip the video just to hold our mouth right and keep the audio going good.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, right. That's fair. It was amazing. Look, that was a one time. Just if you were with us rocking live,
where were you moment?
You heard awful audio, but an amazing video.
So. Look, they just have to make a hire, and I agree that they should probably move on from Kirk. Ultimately, like, is his style going to work in the new Big Ten? Kind of doubt it, right? Everybody in the Big Ten West this year is averaging less than 25 points. You do have to score a little bit of points if you actually want to seriously try to win the league. And that style they're playing isn't going to work when you have to play the big boys more often. It's just going to get more embarrassing. So I think it's been a great run. I'd make a change there.
If the Cooper DeJean return doesn't get called, are we sitting here today having the same discussion?
Yes.
Probably not.
Long-term discussion, yeah. Short-term discussion, maybe not.
Right.
No, I still think that he would have been let go this week. I think that that's what the bye was for. I think it was just a situation where they didn't want it to keep dragging on, especially because it was now clear that, I mean, the contract stipulation, which if they had it, cool, but they probably should have never let it be known publicly. I think that was kind of a mistake because it became what it became. But I think once it became clear that there was no chance he was going to hit it. So instead of just dragging it out and dealing with all the questions about it every single week, I think that, it was probably just rip the Band-Aid off, get it over with, and then have him stay through the end of the season, because why would you want to saddle anybody else with this offense for the rest of the year and kind of, like, here, you want your shot to be an offensive coordinator? Go for it. Like, nobody's going to really even want it to be the interim. So I don't know. I think this was happening no matter what happened in that Minnesota game.
I like Bud's theory of it probably happened, or maybe Tom, one of you two said it probably had happened. We just hadn't heard about it because they were in the off week. We're so used to you fire the coach into the off week, and then internally they had probably already made the decision, especially since he's not fired. He's just not going to return. Like, he's still going to be out there putting together game plans for the conclusion of this season, where Iowa is they are in the 5-team or the 4-team slog at 3-2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Minnesota's still in there. Iowa's still in there. Nebraska's in there. I mean, you still got all your dreams of going to Indianapolis and losing 41-3 again. Okay. Like, why would you want to have a huge hole in your preparation process when you could still do that? Interesting. And especially as it pertains to what's the path forward for Iowa in general.
I also think having the signing day in December plays a role in this too, because you need to have this out there so any potential recruits that are already committed or considering committing, you can't negatively recruit against them saying, well, do you know that Brian Ferentz, look at that offense? You sure you want to play in that? So
counterpoint, do you want anybody on offense who's committed to Iowa?
They do have, I can't remember his name, but they've got the 4-star QB whose name I cannot remember right now.
Oh, from Jacksonville. Yeah, I think he's more of an athlete, not a quarterback, to be honest. But we'll see.
That would, I mean,
look
at their current quarterbacks.
His track times are much better than his arm.
Look at their current quarterbacks, bud.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have an athlete there.
Yeah. That would be new. This kid can run. Like, he can really run. Yeah.
I mean, we're going to have another Sorcalf McNamara year.
Yeah.
He says he's coming back. So lots of decisions.
And he's calling his own plays, damn it.
Do they want him back?
Yeah.
I guess so, right? Like,
yeah.
Is that one of those cases where he signed the NIL deal and now he's like, I can come back for another year of this deal, or
go sell insurance, because he's not going to play pro. I mean, I don't know. I never bought the hype on their offense because I was like, this Caleb Brown kid from Ohio State, I don't see it. And McNamara, just like a total jag at Michigan, who's surrounded by a lot of talent. What's he going to do when he has Iowa talent? Probably. I mean, he got hurt, so I guess that's the excuse. I never thought if he was healthy, he was going to be any good.
Well, I didn't think he was going to win a Heisman, but I thought he was an upgrade over Spencer Petras.
Yes.
That's probably fair. It'd be hard not to be, but hey, miracles happen every day.